So I mean, obviously, yeah, the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, he's a big dude. You're a big dude. I mean, this kind of alpha male, thing you got going on and obviously your team with Charlie Garrett. I mean, it's much more than a gimmick. I mean, you clearly, it's very clear looking at your physique that you kind of live and breathe this dedication to your
Yeah.
body. When did your fitness and nutrition journey begin?
So before I even wrestled, like I was a decent athlete at school. I played all the sports, and then my dad was a PE teacher, so I was lucky enough to have access to all the sports. And I got really into basketball. I played basketball for Wales under 16s and under 18s age group, and then captained Manchester when I was at university
Wow.
to national cup wins and stuff like that. So I've always been, training and an athlete and stuff like that. And then it kind of led into getting involved in wrestling. Was that I came home after finishing university, and there was no National League sides in close proximity to me, so I was kind of looking for something to do. And I'd seen, this is back when the Wrestling Channel was on cable TV, so I knew that there was some wrestling schools in the country because I'd seen the adverts on there. And I just googled wrestling schools, and there was one in Swindon. And I thought, let's go along. It's a Sunday. If you go and you're terrible at it, or you go and it's not professional and not what you were expecting, you've wasted one Sunday, and that's it. And that was basically about coming up for 20 years ago. And well, I've been doing it ever since, really.
So that was Dave Sharp at 4FW.
Dave Sharp, 4FW, yeah.
Yeah. So what was kind of that experience like then, going through wrestling school, and how quickly did you go from that first session to stepping in the ring properly?
So yeah, I was pretty quick. Obviously, being someone that's been coached before at a high standard, I feel that my ability to be coached and my skill acquisition is pretty high. So I started training sort of June, July, probably June, July, 2005, and I had my first sort of matches in the October of that year. Just
wow,
underneath a mask, getting sort of beaten very quickly. But yeah, and then early 2006, I was wrestling as myself on shows, pretty quickly. So yeah,
that's
I think
that's Kurt Angle fast, my friend.
Yeah. I wish I'd have been having Kurt Angle stature, but wrestling for WWF.
Hey, I've got Kurt Angle's hairline.
Mine's going that way, so don't worry. But yeah, I think because I've been coached before, because I've been involved in physical activity and sports my whole life and stuff like that, I think that it was, for me, it was just learning a new set of skills and a new way to do stuff. Obviously, with the wrestling, it then comes, the portrayal of a character and everything else that's involved in the wrestling. But I feel that I picked up the physical movement patterns of wrestling really quite quickly.
How long did it take you before you really felt that you'd found your feet as a character, like working a crowd? Because as we say, it's a lot more, it's storytelling, it's psychology, it's knowing how to work an audience. How long before you felt comfortable in front of a crowd?
I think there's been a couple of sort of points, and I wouldn't say there was one particular point. I'd say it probably took me about 2 years after debuting to feel fully comfortable in the ring. And then I would say it probably has been sort of so if you take my career as nearly 20 years, I'd say from 2 years to 10 years was building on that and gaining more and more of those skills. And then I'd say 10 to now, I've got better. But I'd really say coming into my own would probably be the last sort of 5-6 years where I really feel that, I can go out and work in front of any crowd in any position on the card and do any, good guy, bad guy, main eventer, opening match. I feel that I can go out there and really perform at the highest level in any of those sort of situations and stuff.